What's up, nerds? Let's take a look at the original M1 MacBook Air. I've been using her for around 20 months now and she's been quite the workhorse. One of the best things about this laptop is the speed and usability has been pretty consistent for a long time now. And in this video, I want to show you what I think about this laptop and how it's holding up in terms of its performance, durability, and overall use. So go down in the comment section and tell me if you have this MacBook Air, are you looking at getting one? I know the M2 MacBooks have just been announced, so they're still trying to keep this around. It's still a very powerful machine. Talk to me in the comments. I want to hear what you're thinking. I got this back for around $800 with the Apple student discount, tax free, because I bought this in Delaware, so you know, your boy pretty much finessed the heck out of this machine. I have the base model 256 gigabytes of storage and 8 gigabytes of RAM M1 Air in here. And I will start off by saying this now, this is probably the best, no, not probably, this is definitely the best laptop that you can get out there for around the $1,000 price mark. And I can't stress this enough, I've been using this practically every day now for the past 20 months. This has been my main computer when I brought it to classrooms, when I go home. I edited a crap ton of videos on this machine. I mean, in fact, the last 30 videos on this channel was edited through the M1 MacBook Air. I mean, this thing really can edit a lot of videos. And you know, it's just a speedy workhorse. So let's start off with the everyday use first. How am I using it? Well, in terms of everyday use, I really haven't ran into any major problems. Like I said, the base model was more than enough for what I was using it for, and I quite literally pushed her to the limit because I did render a couple full 10-minute 4K videos on here, and you know, it still managed to get it done in a timely manner. But let's start off with the simple task first and you know, kind of go up from there. So for everyday usage in the classroom, at home, when I'm at the library, you know, web browsing, watching YouTube videos, and all sorts of things, this is really wonderful. There has never been a time where I like really lagged out. You know, like I stuttered with it, or the beach balls that comes up when you're loading up a program or something. Nothing has ever happened like that. I can have like 8 different windows with 20 tabs each. You know, don't ask me why. I can get pretty carried away when it comes to schoolwork and, you know, distractions. But yeah, you know, full page of text on this window, full video playing the other, Spotify in the back, Photoshop or Lightroom in the background. You know, I can have all those applications running and I can still get things done even with the base model here. And it does so pretty fast. No slowdowns whatsoever. I haven't had any. The performance on the Air is absolutely great. The M1 chip to this day is very capable of handling all my wants and needs. The battery life is staggering, and you can absolutely get a full day's use and work done on this computer without having to reach for your charger, and definitely have some use left over for the next day. So I charge this machine every 2 to 3 days, which is super convenient. Then let's move on to the longer term performance. So I talked pretty much a great deal about this laptop and how fast this performs, but there has been a few hiccups on here and, you know, slowdowns on this machine, and that's only because I've been pushing her a little bit too much. So I did talk about those full 10-minute 4K clips, but when you have those on top of a few, you know, transitions and color grades, and I use DaVinci Resolve, which many of you guys would know is a very power-hungry video editing app. Throw on a few effects on there. Editing and rendering on this laptop proves to be a little bit of a challenge on here, and the M1 Air got a little bit hot, especially around the keyboard base and underneath, and you know, there are no fans on this device. And most often when I have that rendering, I'll have like Photoshop in the background as well as Google Chrome, just to have some tabs running, you know, to post a video, edit a photo, a thumbnail. And on top of that, I'm like doing my homework. You know, I'm really multitasking everywhere here. Also, Google Chrome uses a ton of RAM sometimes. So yes, my M1 MacBook Air has given me a couple slowdowns when I have all those tasks running. The beach balls will then pop up. It will take a few more extra seconds. You know, I'll drag my mouse over and then the mouse will kind of, you know, catch up a little bit a few, you know, milliseconds later. But, you know, for the average person who's just using this for, you know, daily needs and, you know, consumer stuff, some of y'all may never get to this point. For other hardcore editors, you know, artists, animators, you know, who knows, the M1 Air might not be enough. But, you know, remember, this is still a $1,000 laptop. And I can only speak for, you know, hardcore 4K video editing. This machine can do it. It's very doable. It may not be the best. My friend who's a phenomenal, you know, computer science coder, codes in HTML, C, Java, and all that, says that he doesn't think he really tapped the full potential of the M1 chip yet, so you know, there's something. I think this is already more than enough, but if you are that professional person that needs extra power, get the upgrade, get the Pro. But for an average everyday person, the Air is totally powerful enough. So let's move on to the design and the build quality of the laptop. The design of the MacBook Air, in my opinion, looks phenomenal. You know, we got the signature aluminum design we expect from Apple that's attractive to look at and feels great in the hand. Over time, the keyboards got a little bit oily, you know, through my fingers. The trackpads did get a little bit smudged up. And, you know, some of the coat has wore off because I've been using this pretty much every day now. But you know, everything about this laptop still remains the same. The sharp cut edges of the MacBook Air is very stylish. The MacBook Air runs virtually silent. You know, the Apple Magic keyboard feels great too. The scissor mechanism they created offers great travel distance. I feel light typing on this keyboard. It feels just phenomenal in general. I typed a lot of scripts for these YouTube videos, a lot of essays for my schoolwork, a lot of emails to other companies. You know, I do not get bored on this keyboard. Come on, now this is a great keyboard. And then moving on to the display, you know, Apple is rocking a beautiful 13.3-inch 2560 by 1600p Retina display. And, you know, as my use as a college student, you know, this definitely adds to the overall workflow experience. Scripts, essays, assignments, everything from, you know, typing and looking and viewing text on this display is amazing. I never would have thought, you know, seeing those boring, mundane tasks and text on the screen could, you know, actually be kind of enjoyable. And all this is able to weigh in at 2.8 pounds. Which is very, very light. This is easily gonna fit in most backpacks without feeling any noticeable weight differences. And when I go out, you know, heavier laptops do burden me, but the Air just feels light and great. You know, even if I'm just moving around the house, you know, maybe I'm relocating from the sofa to the dining room table, you know, just picking up the Air, it just feels great. You know, it's just so light. So in conclusion, how is the M1 MacBook Air overall? Well, it's simply amazing. That's all I can say. Most things work well on here. The laptop itself feels very, very sturdy. The screen doesn't, you know, wobble or disconnect like other laptops do. One solidly constructed laptop. It took some abuse, you know, I moved this over, I laid it down, carried it in my backpack, ran with it. Performance of the M1 Air is here to stay. I wouldn't feel too left out when the M2 MacBook Air is released. We're just gonna have to see the performance from there. But for now, nothing really slowed down yet. I haven't felt like any speed differences from when I first got it until now. Everything just runs completely smooth and fast even to this day. And yeah, the M1 MacBook Air is looking a little bit old in retrospect. You know, it's about to be 2 years old now. But hey, this is still a good deal. So let me know down in the comments if you have the M1 MacBook Air. Are you looking at getting one? Are you thinking about getting the new M2s? Hopefully when the new M2s drop, these will go down in price significantly. So you can probably snag these for a great deal. So yeah, in my opinion, if you can find a great deal on this M1 MacBook Air, it's around the $900 price mark. Definitely go get it. So hey, there's my review of the 2020 MacBook Air. That's an update for you guys. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more tech content in the future. And until next one, I'll see you then.